Welcome to the Hermitess Podcast with Andrea Cox, the only plant-based astrology podcast focusing on Hermetic principles, cellular detoxification, and mystery teachings. Andrea's interviews include her celebrity clients, NBA ball players, musical composers, detoxification specialists, and world-renowned healers just like Andrea. Andrea is a model-turned-celebrity detox specialist, intuitive healer, and holistic wellness and life coach. You will find only authentic people interviewed on this podcast. Real recognizes real. Andrea prides herself on only inviting those who are uniquely creative.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming on to the Hermitess Podcast. Today, I have Suvda. Suvda is a Reiki and Emotional Code practitioner. Her family comes from a long line of healers. However, her journey started 3 years ago. She's been learning and growing a lot as a person and a healer. Her mission is to heal the collective's inner child, as well as help change perspectives on things and events that are holding you back from reaching your highest potential in life. Did I pronounce your name right?
Yes, Suvda, yep.
Now, where are you from originally?
So originally I'm from Mongolia, but I came to the States when I was young, so at age 7. So basically, if I were to go back home, I'm not too familiar because I was so little. So this is kind of home, but originally Mongolia.
Nice. And you're a mom, right?
Yes, I have 2 little ones. They're 5 and 2.
Oh, and
yeah.
what are they? They're 5 and 2. And what are their names?
Kai and Arya.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So I actually came across you when I was uploading a TikTok video and it said, this person is live. And I clicked on you and I thought, okay, another healer. And like, whatever, I'm a healer. But I actually was drawn in. You were doing something with your hands and I felt a shift within myself. And I sent you a little message. I said, how do you, I think I said, how do you detach from people who are still trying to siphon your energy? Mm-hmm. And can you share with me what you said? Because as a Pisces sun, Pisces and Venus, Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising, Cancer and Saturn, my whole chart is water. So I'm like this big absorbent sponge. I literally live on a mountain, grow all my own food with my rescue dogs, and have to shield my energy because of all my water placements. Thank God I have Libra and Aquarius in Vedic. But as far as my Western chart, I am so much water that I get overly emotional. Mm-hmm, and you said something. Can you share with us what all you did?
So detaching is very important, especially when we are as a healer too, but even I kind of see everyone have the potential to heal, right? Because we all heal in different ways. So we all have this unique gift to heal others. Many people, as yourself, you will heal someone else in different ways where they can heal you in a different direction as well. So I think the conversation that I was having with you was that, the moment that you set your intentions, the moment you shift your focus onto the person who you feel is kind of leeching off your energy and kind of trying to get into your space, you're creating an open door when you're thinking about them. So we want to be conscious of our thoughts because our thoughts are what manifests. So we have to clear your thought and redirect your mind into actually what it is that you want more of. Mm-hmm.
What I hear you saying is in order to ward off entities, attachments from others, because those really do exist.
Oh, yeah.
And coming from a holistic wellness background and being a detox specialist for people just like you and I and celebs, I know that through parasite activity, etc., through intimacy, we can pick up those entity attachments. You're saying the moment the thought enters our mind, we have to completely shift. So I have another question for you.
Yeah.
What if, because you know how energy exchanges and how when you think of someone, it's because they're thinking of you. Mm-hmm. What if you have a problem? Social media is so broad. People long detached from can still peer in on us.
Mm-hmm.
And a sensitive Sheila, like myself, with 10 placements of water in your chart, you literally feel that vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you turn that off? I don't know. What is your sign, your sun sign?
So I'm an Aries.
Okay.
So I have a lot of fire. I have water. I have Virgo. So for me, the way that I view it as far as like the shared energy is that people can be throwing everything at you, especially now we put ourselves in this platform where anyone can be watching your video. Anyone could be sending positive or negative energy, right? So it is infinite amount of energy, but also we have to keep in mind that energy flows. So if it's going to come in, it could freely go back, right? It's going to cycle. So the only thing what we don't want to do is we don't want to harbor any energy that comes in. We don't want to be like, oh yeah, and then sit with that thought. Because the moment that you sit with that thought, then you're allowing the energy to sit in your space. Because you can think about 100 or million things because we have ideas and thoughts come through our mind every second.
Right.
But we have to be very picky and choosy on what we're going to actually think about.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because we could, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
So we could be thinking about, let's say something negative. But then the moment you shift that, you can feel your whole body shifting into this negative place.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're allowing it to kind of immerse, right? But then you get a phone call and someone tells you an amazing news and you feel your whole body burst in energy with happiness. That's because whatever you allow into your space will take over. So when you are thinking, again, like if someone is sending you bad energy, all you have to do is set the intention. Anyone is allowed to send me energy, but whatever is coming at me will move out as quickly as it comes in.
You remind me so much of my assistant. You do. So what was happening with me is I was getting the energetic vibration, the negativity. I'm on the cusp of Aries, so I'm one day away. So I have that kind of, go vibe. But I was feeling the energy, not so much of a person from my past, but of the person that's attached to him. And I was feeling her energy trying to constantly connect with me. And so I kind of shielded her off with a mirror, just like, okay, I'm protected. You have no entrance into my force field. Because what I was noticing is that unstable, bitchy, rude, abrupt energy was coming out in me towards my assistant, towards my family, towards other people. And I thought towards myself, and I thought, wait a minute, this isn't my energy. I'm going to send that back. My energy is peace. My energy is unconditional love. This isn't me. This isn't who I am. It was only recently over the past few months since I relocated that I've been able to kind of harness that and just literally wall myself off in a cocoon. Like, you can watch me as much as you want, but you're not going to tap into my energetic force field. And you were the catalyst to this, because this was like a few months ago.
Yeah.
And you did something. What did you do? You did something to me.
Okay. So when it comes to energy, because it's easy to be like, okay, I'm going to fix this for you. We're going to do this for you. And we can dissect everything to small particles. Like, here's your chakras. We're going to cleanse this and that. But really, if we're thinking about energy as a whole, we can't really separate it, right? We can't separate energy. We can just transmute and we can just shift. So for you, I want you to, okay, so there's a message for you, okay? So I want you to, all of the energy that's coming at you, negative or positive, it does not matter. They will fill you up and give you the abundance and the push that you need, okay? So what that means is that I want you to be open to even negative energies.
Okay.
I want you to be open to any type of vibrations that people are sending you, because you're going to take that ball of energy that people are sending it to you, and you're going to manipulate, and you're going to turn that into whatever you want. Okay. Whether it is, okay, I'm going to amplify this energy, and we're going to push this out, and we're going to create my manifestation because I needed more energy. Because when you're manifesting, you don't necessarily have to just manifest with your energy. You can use the collectives, right? So, but there's no such thing as good and bad, because it's just lower and higher frequency. So when people are sending you bad vibration, bad energy, it's just a lower frequency, but you have the power to shift that into a higher frequency.
I love you. I feel like you hold like the ancient wisdom of not the codes, but more ancient kind of like medicine wisdom. I'm surprised you're not into like deep-rooted herbalism. Maybe that's the next.
That's so funny you said that, because I'm now that's my path. That's my second step into this.
I see that. Yeah.
Slowly starting.
Yeah, I see that in you. So you're talking about transmuting an creating an alchemical process where, because, being a manifesting generator, I can see something in my eye, and then 6 months later I'm living in it and like, oh, wow. But I can also manifest too quickly, where I cause like
chaotic energy.
Like I'll cause myself to get thrown out of somewhere just so I can be at the higher vibrational place. But what I hear you saying is I can transmute that into my own work and things, which I already do. And I had to learn to do that myself. Mm-hmm. But I also feel that I want us all to be unconditionally loving to each other. So I try to send love back. Mm-hmm. That the jealousy, the hatred, because when I saw it come out in myself towards people I love, towards my assistant, towards my family, I went through a period of a few months where I was reacting to everything. And I thought, this isn't me at all. Like, I'm not oh my God, this is happening. Let me lash out about everybody. And it really took like the people that care about me the most to be like, okay, these people are affecting you. You need to literally put up a wall of protection. Mm-hmm. And so it was that week that I saw your video, and you did something with your hands. And I'm wondering if you can do it for everybody, for our viewers. I don't remember what you did, but you did something that shifted me.
I was at that moment, before you jumped on, we were working on our sacral.
Okay.
So we were working on sacral, and we were doing from root to the sacral and kind of pushing that energy upwards. So if you want to close your eyes, we can kind of like.
Can we work on the crown and the sacral? I feel like our viewers are going to want crown and sacral. Okay.
So we can, the crown is, for me, it always seems like the easiest. The sacral and the root is what's always kind of off, because that's where your foundation, that's where your confidence lives. So that is where kind of, especially for my ladies, that's where your divine feminine energy lives. So for us to even have the connection to the crown to go like freely, you have to balance out the roots. So when we shift that energy and we take so if we shift that energy and we take it up all the way to the roots, so while I'm doing this, what you want to envision is a beam of light, and you can, whatever works for you, it could be white light, it could be gold light, it can be blue light. And some people have a color that they resonate with. So you want to pull that light beam through your crowns, but it's going to go all the way down in through your body's 7 chakras, all the way to the ground. I don't know if you can feel that, but it goes all the way down to your roots.
I can feel it.
And you want to envision your root chakra, your feet, touching the ground, the soil, and pulling the energy from the ground to the core of the earth as much as you can envision this. And you're going to imagine that light beaming back up, because energy circulates, right? So we're going to pull that energy back up all the way from the roots and up, and in to the crown.
You are magic.
So what that typically does is it will recenter you. It will pull in everything, because the more we focus on the whole body, not to separate everything, because everything has to work together, just as in any type of functioning body, right? In anything related to health, spirituality, mental health, we're all connected. So we have to envision the whole shift happening through our core.
You like bring tears to my eyes of healing. And I think the reason I stopped on you remind me of my assistant Mushy with her voice. The way she speaks, she has a healing voice, and you have a healing energy. And I can always like spot a true healer. And like right now, I just want to cry, but it's not sadness. It's like, just like how grateful I am, and how like, just how grateful I feel, that my nephew's graduating and that my dogs are laying on the grass outside. And like, I feel gratitude for you. So I want to ask you one more question. You have kids.
Yes.
And how do you protect their energy and things of that nature? Because I think that's really beautiful.
Yes. Oh, and I was just telling Moshi this because she asked me if I have kids. And yes, so my kids were the catalyst of me growing into my spiritual self, because before even though that my family has history of being healers, I was very against it, because I didn't want to be put into like, hey, you're supposed to do this. I want it to be something that comes out naturally, something more I'm passionate about. So even though I was searching for this life that we all kind of think we want, my kids pulled me back and really kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone to show me what it really is that I want. And as someone who was not spiritual, if you asked me 5 years ago, I was not here. I was not where I am today, mentally, emotionally, all of that. So my kids.
My dog has sage in his mouth.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Drop it. I was listening. I was like, I don't want to interrupt her. Sorry, go on. Okay.
It's okay.
Sorry.
He knows what we're doing. That's why.
He's like, let me grab a sage bundle and poison myself. Sorry.
So for me, my kids really pushed me out of my comfort zone, because I was really in deep depression as far as having after you have a kid. And I'm not making an assumption, but with the people that I've talked to, about 90% of women will go through depression, baby blues, all of this, and kind of make you rethink your life, So being now spiritual, I had to learn every single thing about energy and how it works. And the kids are the purest. They sense everything. They know everything. And when I'm sad and when I'm anxious, I can see in my son reflecting me. I can see him like showing me how I'm dealing with my stress and how I'm dealing with my anxiety. It's just like a direct mirror. So that really pushed me to be better. And I said, okay, they're watching me. They're doing exactly what I'm doing. So I'm responsible for me to evolve and get better so they can live a better life, right?
Yes.
So with saving their energy, there was a period of time when I went crazy with the sage and rituals, and I went like bananas because they are sensitive souls. Every night, my son still to this day, he wakes up and has a full-on conversation. And I will freak out like crazy. But now I've gotten to understand that the moment that I started to get fearful, the moment that I started to be in the like motherly, like, oh my God, what's happening with my kid? That is when I start to bring in the other entities.
Interesting.
Right?
Especially nowadays with kids coming into the world with much less ancestral karma than like someone like me in my, like late 40s has, with such less ancestral karma because parents like you have done the work on themselves.
Yeah.
And now the kids, and I'm getting goosebumps when I say that, come in without having to battle, illness and trauma and carrying all this weight of the karma. These women in their 20s have done the work, and they're bringing in these fresh children that don't carry the baggage. And I would be so scared. I think that's why I didn't have kids. I was so afraid. Like, it's just, but you don't have to be afraid. Fear. Yeah.
I think that's what creates is that our fear, right? Our fear kind of pulls in these other entities because we're bringing in the energy. They're not. Right. They're in their innocent, they're in their bubble, they're already protected. So we always have to remember we're all divinely protected regardless of what we're doing. But the moment, again, with your mind and your intention, if I'm fearful, they're going to pick that up. If I feel protected and if I feel safe, they're going to pick that up.
Wow. You are, man, I gotta tell you, you are a pillar of light. And I'm going to share this everywhere. I wasn't going to share it on YouTube because I haven't had a shower and it's retrograde and I was rushing around. You deserve to be blasted from the rooftops. You are a true healer with an ancestral calling, and so grateful. We're going to ask you back in like a few months. So don't run when you get that email, because I just feel like over the next 6 months, you're going to have even more knowledge. And I feel like there's so much more to tap into with you. And I just want to leave you with one last question. So cultivating abundance, what is your view on that? What is your view? And I'm going to take a quick screenshot of you as well. What is your view on cultivating abundance? Like, how can people call more abundance into their life? Sorry about that.
So abundance can mean so many different things. I think we get so skewed by society as far as what abundance means. Because if I have a cracker in my hand, I could be like, I'm abundant because I have food in my hand. Versus you could be like, okay, I have $1 million in my bank, I'm abundant. So I think we can easily get skewed on what abundance means. So the key is to really first ask yourself, what makes me feel abundant?
Health, family.
Yes.
So
reverse that. Don't let society tell you what means to be abundant, because those are meaningless things that you're going to attach yourself for 2 seconds of happiness and then done. Where did your abundance go? So now you have to look back and say, what does abundance mean to me? Why do I keep getting, maybe you thought it will make you happy if you have that car, if you have that house, if you have that education, if you have the kid, you thought that was going to fulfill you. But then the moment it happens, you feel more sad and depressed and more anxious. But that's because we have been told, we've been kind of misled into thinking what abundance is, happiness is meant to be. So now we really have to go back to the roots.
Yeah. I just went through that. I got offered a show in New York, and I was so stressed out thinking, who is going to take care of my dogs? One of my dogs is 23. He's elderly. And I was like, who, like, he'll stare in the window for 3 days while I'm gone. Like, who's going to take? And I decided to pass on it. And it was like my dream. But I thought to myself, is it my dream? Because I've been on the news a ton of times. Like, is it my dream? No. What my dream is making sure my dog is really safe next to me, like every single night, especially at his age.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a come to Jesus moment. I was like, wow, the dreams shift, you know, as we grow spiritually. I don't even want to say as we age, as we grow spiritually, the goal shifts, because at the end of the day, to every high, there's a low. Absolutely. And so if I go and jump on that and get that, you know, I'm going to be stressing the whole time I'm there about my animals.
Yes.
And then when I get home, I'm just, you know, back to everyday stuff, to where it just doesn't spark me like it used to. So, man, I adore you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And I'm going to ask you to come back on. And we're sorry this was so short because
no, it's okay. It was perfect.
The whole retrograde thing. But yeah, we appreciate you greatly.
I appreciate you for having me. I mean, I think it's really always great to connect with people with the same mind and same perspective, because again, what I'm doing is purely what I was meant to do, and as you are. So again, thank you for opening up this platform and allowing someone like me to come on and, you know, possibly heal as many people as we can, because the mind is a strong thing and we could be sick easily as a negative mindset. So this is really great.
You're great. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like to check out Andrea Cox's most recent 4th book, Eat Right for Your Zodiac, it's the first book to ever combine astrology with plant-based eating. Andrea's Akashic record readings, holistic wellness coaching, and intuitive life coaching services are sought out by both celebrities and ordinary, everyday people like Andrea herself. If you'd like to connect with her, you can find her at AndreaCox.com, on YouTube at both Andrea Cox TV and The Detox Intuitive, on Facebook at Andrea Lee Cox, and on Instagram at Raw Chef Andrea.